Hi guys, so today we've got another video on the Porsche Boxster. It's just a bit of an update. I'm going to get that sill done in this video, and I've got the wing has come home. Both suspension assemblies for the front have come home. I've got that hub that I showed in the last video. Yeah, I've got a fair few bits. I've also got a new set of wheels which are down there. I'll show them when I get tyres put on them and get more suspension put on this. So yeah, first of all, I'm just gonna show quickly what has actually arrived for the car so that I can actually go through myself and just check to see what I've got. But I'm going to get that bit of damage sanded down and fixed first. But before we do that, let's go through the packages that have arrived for it. Okay, so here's the wing that I bought. To be honest, first impressions are quite good. Slight bent tab there, nothing that won't bend back into shape. But the wing's in pretty good condition. There's obviously the usual rust bubbles and stuff. It all feels solid anyway, and there's no rot or anything. Just surface rust and nothing that... I suppose my wing was actually okay, to be honest, but it's in better condition than that anyway. So and it came with the fuel flap, the mechanism, the hinge, everything. I didn't get one with mine whatsoever. When I got my car, this was just exposed here, so I'm quite happy with that. And yeah, the price of this was stupidly cheap. I couldn't resist, even if I just use this, because I would have liked to have bought one in colour if I could find one, but this colour, apparently less than 1% of these Porsches were made in this colour, so finding one that's been broken isn't an easy task. So yeah, I bought this with the sole purpose, even if I just use this to actually test fit up against the sill, just to make sure that it's all the correct profile for going under here. It was cheap enough that that's all I'll use it for. But I'm likely going to end up getting this colour matched to the car. I'll have this painted and everything. So, but yeah, even came with like the headlight tray that I took out of mine, and yeah, can't complain at all. I'm going to do a full price breakdown on everything that car cost me at the end, and I don't need to go through each individual item, but this wing here with everything that you see here was £45. So, and that was delivered as well. I genuinely don't know how they managed to do that. They delivered it over 300 miles away from them, so I really can't argue with that at all. So yeah, I would say that's a win for the money. And then these, so here they are, two new built up struts, nothing fancy at all. These are just generic struts, but they've got bump stops, boots. You can't see the actual shaft. The brackets look the same. Yeah, I won't know for definite until I take my old suspension legs off and compare them, but the only worrying thing that I've seen is that they both say left hand on them. But yeah, so I don't know, are these supposed to be are these supposed to be the same, or are they supposed to be different? Yeah, I'll need to do a bit more research on that. I can't see every component being the same, but the car is just a mirror image of itself, so possibly one just goes in that way, the other one turn it around in that way. I doubt it, but I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. And just as my luck would have it as well, if they were two right hand ones, I could send one of them back and fit my right hand one on my right hand side, because that's the one that I definitely need. As luck would have it, I've got two that probably don't fit in there. So I've got the old strut here. Obviously there's the drop link and the hub still attached to this. So ignoring that, looking at the actual strut side by side, I don't know, although it says left hand and they're identical, this is the right hand strut that came off the car. And you can see, so I've got this spun round almost exactly the same angle for these brackets. Now, first of all, the brackets look identical. I can't see, they look about the right size. Until I offer everything up, I'll not know for sure, but it looks about the right size. And then you can see, so at this angle, there's this step in the base, which is obviously where the end of the spring goes. It's in the same place, goes in the same direction. The bottoms of the struts look the same. The spring is coiling in the same direction. They look about the same length. Obviously, the top mount, the whole purpose of it is that it's supposed to spin. So the orientation of that shouldn't matter because it's left and right. So the holes won't be the same distance apart, but if it's that way for the left, it would spin round to be that way for the right. So yeah, I won't know for sure until I put the other hub on this and put it on the car, but I don't see why this won't fit, so it's good. Before I could fit the new suspension leg, I had to remove the steel bushing that was stuck there from when the hub broke, so I just removed that using a bearing removal tool. Popped it off and then I could fit the new suspension strut. Right, so I had a bit of a delay. I've built my new strut up down there and realised that hub that I got, it didn't come with, there's like steel bushings in the aluminium hub, and I believe that they're for preventing what happened to my drop link, where the difference in materials caused the steel drop link to fuse to the aluminium hub. So it came without that steel bushing, and the ball joint doesn't fit in the hub without that, so I had to take my old suspension leg to the bench, hack at it with a grinder, and finally managed to get this steel bushing out with minimal marks to the side of it. There's just a neck there and a neck there, just where I necked it with a grinder. But yeah, so I've got that out now, so I'm going to get this suspension leg put in the car, and at least I can have it on 4 wheels again. Well, at least I can have it on 4 wheels for the first time since I actually bought it. So in theory, once I get this leg on, I could actually take it for a drive. So fitting the new suspension leg wasn't very difficult. I just had to locate the hub on the bottom ball joint, make sure that the top mount was in the correct orientation, and offer it up. I could then screw on the nuts by hand just to secure it in place, and that would hold it and allow me to get my transmission jack in, jack up the strut, and then secure the nuts with a ratchet onto the same location that the nuts were before on the old strut. There was a piece of old sensor stuck to the new hub that I bought, so I just removed that using the 10mm screw. I routed my sensor cable round the back of the strut where it was meant to go, and I got a bit confused here because there's 2 sockets on my cable, yet I could only see 1 plug to go in it, but then I managed to find another one on the caliper, so I'm guessing that's just a ABS sensor and a brake pad wear sensor. So that was all fine, and then I could just screw it to the hub using the same 10mm screw. And then once that was secure, I could then plug in my ABS sensor into the socket. I then thought it was a good opportunity to take a wire wheel and attach it to my drill and just clean up all mating surfaces, the hub, the disc shield, and anything else, just to give it a nice clean. Once it was all clean, I offered up the disc, only to find that the dust shield had obviously gotten a bit deformed in transit. So I just kept manipulating it with a big set of pliers and a hammer, just to get it back into shape and allow the disc to clear the dust shield. I do still have the one from my old hub, so I may fit that, but this one will do for now. So I've just fitted the strut assembly, brake disc, everything back up that you've watched in the last clip. The only thing that I'm missing, and it didn't occur to me, was obviously the issue with my old hub, and the reason that I needed the strut assembly was because the drop link had fused to the hub. I forgot that the drop link isn't going to be included with this, so I've ordered a drop link, and then this front driver suspension should be completely built up and ready. So I've been sort of switching between the two, so sort of building up the strut assembly, doing a bit of sanding, going back, putting this on, doing a bit of sanding. So as you can see, I'm covered. In the next clip, you'll see a bit of continuity issues. This hub isn't in the next bit when I start actually doing the sill sanding. So yeah, there's a bit of time lapse, and I'll show you what the finished article looks like then. This is the progress update, but the line, it is tidying up, and you can see like there's huge patches of actual sill that you can see coming through. So I'm just gonna keep giving this is a bit of a high point here, so I'm just gonna keep blending this in until it's relatively flat. You can see that there's still some low points in here, little holes and stuff. So this is going to get sanded so I can get it as flat as I can possibly get it. It's still going to have these imperfections because they're lower than that. So that is lower than that. So I'm going to need to sand this all back until it's as smooth as this sill piece here. And then I'm going to put a thin layer of finishing fillers over the top of it, just to try and get it perfectly smooth. But it is starting to take the profile. It just needs a bit of finishing. So and a lot of this material is gone in here. All of this here is all that rock guard stuff as well. And it's only half sanded off, so I'm going to clean this off completely as well. Everything in here, so before I drilled out the welds and started manipulating any of this stuff, there's seam sealer around all these seams. So I will be removing all excess or leftover seam sealer, and I will be putting new seam sealer over all of this just as it was at the factory. I've got some of that on its way home. And then I've got some stopper as well. That was the little tube of stuff that you seen me with the wings over on the cardboard. So it's going to just make this perfectly smooth. I'll show you a bit of it and then I'll show you the result. But that's what I'm going to do. So it's not near finished yet. I've still got the stopper and bits and pieces. You can see all of the sort of cavities in this, dimples all over the place where there's just slight little holes. So the stopper is going to fill all of them and just do a finishing coat, just for a smooth finish. So this section here is too low. So like this is the 2 layers. This here is 1 layer. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand this right back, and then this surface is going to be a fair bit higher than this. So what I'm going to do then is build this up and then feather it in from there, and just gradually then blend the two, and then I'm going to just do it as one then. That's sort of how I'm choosing to do it, and although it's not a how-to video by any means, this is how I've done it. So I think it's starting to look okay. So I just started removing a bit more of this rock guard from in here, and then I'm going to reapply all of that seam sealer. And this here, most of that is gone. There's just a little bit over where I've welded on there. So yeah, and then the finishing touch is going to be fitting up the wing and seeing where these brackets lie in relation. But these are the actual brackets where the wing screws onto, and then one up there, and they are perfectly straight. Right, so just a little update. The drop link that I had mentioned before, it's now arrived home. So I'll quickly just show you that. And And if I just compare it to the old one, so you can see the angle is the same and the length is the same. You can see this smooth section here is obviously the piece that goes through here that's fused to my actual hub itself, so that's the source of the problems there. I'm not going to bore you with me actually fitting this. It's just a drop link. It's just a couple of nuts and stuff, so I'm just going to I'm just going to throw that on the car just now. I apologise for the mess that I've got. It was only when I was editing the last bit of footage that I actually thought, look at the state of my workshop. So I'm going to get this on here. I'm going to finish this section, and then I'm going to maybe give this workshop a tidy as well. It also seemed like such a good idea at the time, taking the roof down. I just wanted to sort of air the interior out while I'm doing all of this work. And as you can see, I don't know if the camera's picking it up very well, but it looks like I'm going to have an interior to clean too, so that was a bit of a mistake. But yeah, let's get this drop link fitted, and then we can continue then. It's a new day, and I've got the drop link and the suspension assembly on this side now. You'll notice that the car has actually been turned around. I haven't test driven the car yet. I literally just took it out just so I could get it off my ramp, just because I needed the ramp for something else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start and move the Camry out, take this out, so first of all we can see it in the daylight, have a bit of a walk around outside. And I don't think I've actually shown the car with the roof down before, but I've got it down manually because I've still not got the gearbox and the linkages to actually fix it. So for the time being it's going to be a manually operated roof. But you can see I've got the spare wheel on here. I've got this silver wing on. The alignment is terrible. It's only on there. There's like one screw in at the front, one at the back, and one down there, and one here. So it's just been held at the corners just to keep it stable. And I've got the, there's my little dog giving an appearance. You can see that I've got the front bumper back on too. So the car is actually roadworthy just now. I've got to put number plates on the front and back, and I've insured the car too. So the car is MOT, tax, insured. So it is completely roadworthy. So I'm actually going to take it outside. We'll have a look around it quickly, and I'm going to take it on a first drive just to make sure the gearbox is okay. I just want to test because this is due to go to the body shop to have this wing and sill coloured and blended. I've taken that. So the clip that you saw in the last bit of video on that sill, that's as far as I'm going to take that actually. I've decided, like, the guy at the body shop is a genius, so I'm just going to let him do the final sort of alignment to the wing and everything, because he's going to paint it anyway, and I just think I'm better leaving the absolute finishing touches. I've done like 90% of the work, so I'm just going to leave him to sort of make it as best as it's going to be, because he's really good at it. So yeah, enough waffling. Let's just get this car ready out, and I want to make sure that it's actually going to make the journey to the body shop. So let's go and do that now. I don't know if this is of interest to anybody, but this is a 1997 Toyota Camry. It's just, I bought it for nostalgia. It's the same car that that my dad had as I was growing up, so I always wanted one. So this is one of 5 blue Camrys in this entire country with this spec. So yeah, just a bit of nostalgia for me. I'm not sure if it interests anyone, but just in case anybody's curious as to what this is sitting in the back, because they're not very common at all. So yeah, hopefully this should start on the button. I did give the battery a charge. It just spends all of its life in the workshop, so just starts on the button. So I'm just going to open the door, get this Camry out so that I can get the Porsche reversed out of here. Right, so hopefully you can hear me over the engine noise, but yeah, the car is a bit of a patchwork quilt at the moment. I've got the space saver on here because the other tyre was damaged in the accident. I've got the silver wing, but it looks okay. I've got my number plate just cable tied on there at the moment. I wasn't going to put my plate on it until after it had come back from the body shop, but I didn't get original plates with this car, so I've just cable tied that on there because yeah, I'm getting the body shop to actually do that repair on there. I was going to do it myself, but he offered to do it, and like I say, he's excellent, so I'll see if he can save that. If not, I'll get another bumper. But yeah, the alignment is horrible. Big gap here. It's literally all just bolted on, just safe enough that it'll get it to the body shop because it's all got to come off anyway. But yeah, if I stand back, the car, it's going to look really nice when it's done. It's not to everyone's taste. People want to keep these cars original, but those orange indicators, they're all coming off of there. I don't like them. I think it just dates the car. But that's going to be in a future video. I'm just going to modify that. But yeah, you can see, so a better look at the interior. Sorry, just ignore all the mess that I've got in here, but it's quite dusty like I was saying before. But the only error light on the dash, the only error light is for this roof because it's not completely closed because it's just manually shut at the moment. But it's a very nice looking car. When I get this done, yeah, it's going to be an excellent car. But I've got the those wheels, they're nice enough, but again, I think they date it. They're too small, so I've got a set. You would have seen it. They were just tucked in beside the door there. I kind of gave them away, but I got tyres fitted to them yesterday, so I'm going to wait until it comes back from the body shop and it's all one colour before I actually put the 18s on here, so they'll look a lot better. This is how it's looking at the moment, so I'm just going to take it a drive. The engine sounds absolutely amazing. I'll actually give it a few, now that the cold start has actually gone off, I'll give it a few revs just so you can actually hear the exhaust. But it's quite a nice sounding exhaust for a standard setup. But yeah, I didn't want to go too nuts with the revving, just because it's not fully warm, although the cold start is gone. So yeah, the carpets are all still removed for me fixing this roof, but yeah, it's going to clean up beautifully. So but let's take it on a run and see. Right, yeah, I'm going to keep the top down just for this test run. Hopefully the wind noise isn't going to be too much. I am in the north of Scotland, so yeah, as you can see, it's dull and it's about as dry as it ever gets up here, so so hopefully you'll be able to hear me with the wind noise. But I don't have a Bluetooth microphone yet, so I'll do my best. I might put the top up if it isn't coming out on camera. So yeah, let's take it for a quick drive. The brakes sound like they could do with a bit of a clean. They're kind of scraping a little bit, but that's to be expected when it's been sitting about for so long. But they do actually work. The initial impression is excellent. Yeah, I can't believe how well this car drives actually. Obviously I've put a new suspension leg on that side, the driver's front, and it's also got a space saver on there, so I could probably do with the tracking done, and it's going to be a little bit bumpier with that skinny tyre, but despite that it drives excellent. Yeah, it hasn't long passed an MOT this, and I didn't get any advisories at all, so I was kind of expecting it to run quite well. I'm only doing 50 mile an hour, but the wind noise is quite bad. I do have the wind deflector at my back, but yeah, it'll only do so much. But I'm very happy with how the car drives, to be honest. This is quite a bumpy, typical Scottish countryside road this, so despite that it's very, very smooth. I had the coupe equivalent of this car previously. I mentioned that in my first video. It was a red 987 Cayman, and that was an excellent car, but it had done about twice the mileage of this, and despite it being a fair bit younger as well, this drives so much smoother. It doesn't look the best, sort of half green, half silver, red wheels, silver wheels, but it certainly drives good. But there's a quiet enough bit of road, I might do a drive-by bit of film just so you can actually see and hear it from the outside. So there it is, that's the first road test, and yeah, I would say a great success. It drives just as I was hoping it would. Hopefully the wind noise isn't too bad. I am going to get a Bluetooth microphone, but hopefully it just gives an idea. There is a few little jobs to do. So I'm going to get this to the body shop. It's having all of that finished and all of this sprayed and blended and everything. Needs a good clean, it's covered in fillers. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a good car. So yeah, right, I'm going to take this back to the house, and we'll go through what the plan is with this then. Right, so that test drive went well. I would say I'm quite happy with the way that the Porsche drives and everything. So yeah, like I said, just a quick rundown of what's going to happen now. So the Porsche is due to go to the body shop in a few days. It runs and drives, so now I can drive it there. I'm going to wait until that comes back. You can see those wheels there. They are the wheels that are for this. You probably got a quick look at them in the last bit of footage, but yeah, I don't think they showed up on camera, so I'll reveal them and put them on when this is fixed. When this comes back, I've had a lot of back and forth about this roof and the components that I've ordered. So yeah, I've ordered all the linkages, the gearbox, drive cables and stuff like that. So I have everything that's going to let me get that roof sorted on its way, but I ordered them about 2 weeks ago when I first put out the first video, and there's still no sign of it. So yeah, so when this comes back from the body shop, wheels, roof, I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to delete these amber lights off of here. I'm going to modify the headlights and buy some clear side repeaters, and then once I've done all of that and I'm happy with how it drives, how it looks, I'm going to tackle the IMS bearing / RMS. A lot of people say there's no point in going to that because it's just an issue that is over hyped on the internet, but I've got an oil leak. I'm going to just place my bets and assume that that is the RMS seal. So when you take that, you have to take the gearbox off to get access to that seal. So when the gearbox is off, the seal for the RMS is here and the IMS bearing is here. So I'm as well replacing that when I'm at that stage, probably a clutch as well and everything, but that's my plans for just now. I'm also looking at the factory aero kit, like side skirts and front splitter and things like that, but I just want to get this to sort of OEM, driving well, looking well, and then I'll start modifying it, looking at exhaust and stuff like that too. So that's roughly my plan for the Porsche for the next while. So while it's at the body shop, I'm going to start getting the ball rolling on some of that stuff. And yeah, so I'm also on the lookout for another project as well. I've got my eye on a few things. I'm watching a few things on the auctions and stuff like that. So hopefully there'll be another project on the channel soon. I do have this that I'm working on just now, but it's not on the channel. So thanks for watching, and if you've got any constructive criticism, any feedback or anything, I'd appreciate it if you could share that with me, because I'll make sure that future videos actually implement whatever feedback I get. I just want to keep everything as sort of interesting as I can, because like I say, I'm not used to the actual filming and explaining what I'm doing. So yeah, if you could do that, that'd be great. And if you're interested to see where the Porsche build goes and other projects that I take on this channel, I'd really appreciate if you would give my channel a subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Cheers.